sport itself is a seasonal sport. Typically, we play from October through the end of March, although you can play in arena clubs, which would be a converted hockey ice like this, and there are some of those in the area. The game itself, you're throwing the rocks down to what we call a house at the far end, and you alternate colors, and you alternate until all 16 rocks are thrown, and you determine the score after the 16th rock is thrown. So that's called the hammer, because it's very significant, because the end can totally turn around on the last shot. The other guys the red team can have 8 rocks in there, and if the very last shot is blue and they throw it in and it's closest to the center, blue gets 1. Okay? So that if you hear those terms, you're going to hear that. The sport itself originated in Scotland in the 1500s. It's been in America, it's been in Canada since the 1700s, and in America since the 1800s, came over with the Scots. The Grand National Curling Club in the Northeast has been around since the 1830s. And our clubs in this area have been around since the 1950s. So there is a rich heritage in the sport. One of the things you'll notice is that it's a very social sport. In fact, at the beginning, you ask everybody to shake hands and introduce themselves and say, good game. And you do the same thing at the end. And as you might have heard, at the end, you typically, in the social context, the winning team would buy the losing team around. Okay? Sort of competitions, we don't do that. Okay? Now we're going to go over the basic delivery today, just to show you how to get into the house there without falling over and shoot a rock down to the other end. But safety first. We're going to set you up with booties, which will help you slide a little bit. Nothing like you'd have if you had regular shoes, but these you'd have to be used to this and have your balance before you try something that would give you that much speed. So we're going to get you out there and let you slide out a little bit on that. Be very careful though, you're on ice and you're wearing something slippery on ice. And I just noticed just now that when you're outside of the area that's pebbled for curling, which you can see it looks a little different, if you're outside of that, there's frost. And the frost will build up on this part, and that becomes slippery. I almost went down immediately, so be very careful out there. So first thing we do is get you set up with these. So I also need to know, if you are left-handed, you put it on your right shoe. If you're right-handed, you put it on your left shoe. And that's based on which hand you throw with, okay? All right, these are different color. The red are the largest ones, green are the medium size, and I think there's yellow, which are the smaller ones. And these should go on your on the side of which you throw. Okay, that's going to be your trailing leg.
So you get one of each.
You get one of each, ideally. Now, some of you may have shoes sufficiently grippy, but I'm going to assume you don't. And so please plan to take one of these. Because like I said, if you're outside the curling area here and you walk on the regular hockey ice, it's very slippery.
You know when you're switching it's not to do this. What am I doing? Yeah, you think that's a good idea? That could be there, you could be there, lots of things. Don't sweep going back. Okay, he needs to stabilize it. I guess they should settle it.
Bounce the rock and swing as fast as you can with the ice.
And if you want to sleep well, your head should be over the front head of the rock.
Right, like this, not like this. Over here, I'll get used to that. So that's a stabilizer. We'll use that in place of the broom to stabilize yourself. And of course, the rock. Did somebody go through the rock?
No.
Got the rock? All right. The rocks are 42 pounds apiece. They are made of high impact granite that comes from a quarry in Scotland. You'll notice that on the bottom, we never lift them up. We just, rotate them up. The bottom is concave. There's about 1/8 of an inch ring around that concave spot. This is what the rock lies on. This is not flat hockey. You feel this, there's bumps. And over there you'll see the ice crew out there with a canister on their back and a booze and a little brass head with holes in it. They'll just come back up and down, sprinkling this little droplets of water. That little ring, that 1/8 of an inch ring, that rides on the pebble. If the pebble wasn't there, these rocks would stop and get out 30 feet. That small area that we're sitting on top of the pebble as you're going down, it's stop. Okay? Now, first thing, slide. Now the booty's on your feet. That's your slide.
actually have a shoe that most of them have Teflon on the bottom. Very slippery. We don't want you guys falling and hurting yourselves. That's why we have them surgical boots. They're kind of slippery and it's good enough to start with. There's a few curlers that actually have plates of steel on the bottom of their shoe for sliders. Come up, this is what we call the hat. Come up here, just put the foot with the booty, and whatever I'm saying, for right-handers, you just reverse. Okay. Because I'm assuming you're left-handed. I'm left-handed, right? Come up and help stabilize yourself while you get your foot in. Your foot doesn't have the booty, put it halfway up. Your arch is going to be basically sitting on top of it. This will help you as you're coming out for your foot to actually come out like that. Right? Put stabilizer in one hand, feet forward, put the rock in the other hand. Up a little bit, crouch. Up what to do. I'm going to push off my right foot from the hat. I'm going to keep my left foot, which has the booty, flat on the other. I'm going to bring my left knee under my chest as I'm sliding out. Okay? Mm-hmm. And my right leg is just going to go straight back. Extend. Ready? Got that?
At what point do you release the rock?
Okay. Get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Try, or do you want me to do it again? Give me two lines. One over here, one over here. Watch out.